Welcome to the Collegian News Webcast. I'm Jonathan Baldwin.
And I'm Victoria Brito. Here are this week's stories.
Dozens of residents and downtown business owners spoke for and against the City of Brownsville's plan to raise parking meter rates. Reporter Victoria Brito was at the town hall meeting Wednesday.
Ramiro Gonzalez, comprehensive planning manager for the city, asked a crowd of about 50 people for input on the proposal, which would increase the parking rates from 25 cents an hour to 75 cents an hour. Additionally, the city wants to establish a downtown employee and owner parking pass that would cost $60 per month or $2 per day.
It really is to increase the availability of parking. That's really just the first gut reaction that people give me. So we need to increase the availability of parking so that shoppers can come downtown, they can find parking, and they can actually spend money in our downtown area.
Brownsville resident Teresa Saldivar said she is concerned about the people who work minimum wage jobs in the downtown area.
That's money out of their pocket and food off their table. I would recommend that employers pay for the parking fees for their employees. It's done in major cities to attract good employees. It should not cost people to go to work.
And you have, for your employees who work down at the city hall, it's kind of funny, they have free parking. How come we don't charge them the $60? That's what
Some of us have to live in the downtown area and have to deal with the real issues every single day. I have 20 employees that use the parking in the surrounding area. Yes, they make minimum wage, that's all I can pay, but at least it's 20 jobs that the city wouldn't have without us. And taxing people, because it is a tax, $60 a month for parking, it's a lot. It's a lot if you're making minimum wage, it's a lot if you gotta feed a family, it's a lot if you gotta pay utilities, it's a lot if you gotta pay rent.
Some of the Brownsville City Commissioners also attended the meeting.
I definitely am against raising the 75 cents now after hearing all of the concerns. We're here to work with you and do anything that we can for you.
Gonzalez said city planners will take all ideas into consideration and come up with an appropriate solution to the issue. The next Brownsville City Commission meeting is scheduled for February 4th at City Hall.
For the Collegian News, I'm Victoria Brito. Whether you're on your way to the rec center or turning into the Barnes & Noble parking lot, chances are your vehicle will strike one of the many potholes on campus. Reporter Marlene Rodriguez has more details on the road hazards.
I'm standing outside UT Brownsville Student Union, where more than 3 potholes can be found down the road that are at least 1 inch deep. Abraham Hernandez, director of UT Brownsville's physical plant, said it is the city of Brownsville's responsibility to fill the potholes. Hernandez said a request to fill the holes was made about 2 weeks ago. Martino Trevino, acting superintendent for the City of Brownsville Public Works Department, said the department usually takes a week to respond to requests. Trevino said potholes are formed when heavy vehicles crack the pavement and are made worse when it rains. The increase in the number of potholes caused by the rain increases the workload for city crews. Rolando Uresti, an instructor for the Automotive Technology program at Texas Southmost College, said the cost to repair a tire or wheel damaged by a pothole depends on the vehicle.
If a wheel is actually damaged, sometimes they could cost up to $500, $600. It just depends on the wheel.
Uresti said drivers can protect tires by avoiding potholes or reducing vehicle speed.
Those are basically the only things you can actually do to it to avoid hitting a pothole.
Ramon Garcia, a sophomore engineering physics computer engineering major, has been driving on campus for a year and has run into potholes on Ringgold Road.
Yeah, sometimes there are problems, it's real bumpy out here and does cause problems with driving.
To make a request to have a pothole filled, Trevino said to call 546-4357. Reporting for the Collegian News, this is Marlene Rodriguez.
More than 800 people swept floors, planted vegetable seeds, and visited with the elderly in honor of the late civil rights leader. Anthony Cano reports.
We're here at Dean Porter Park, where hundreds of students have gathered in a day of service to honor Martin Luther King Jr. The 842 volunteers helped out 32 different organizations on January 20th to honor the slain civil rights leader. After fueling up on complimentary donuts and bananas, they headed to their respective organizations to serve the community. What was the purpose of this event?
Today we make it a day on and not a day off, and work to transform Martin Luther King's life and teaching into a day of service.
The Office of Student Engagement and the University Scholars Program organized the event. Help from businesses such as Burger King, H-E-B food stores, and the Home Depot, plus a grant from the Cesar Chavez Foundation, helped fund the event. Among the volunteers was UTB freshman Saul Torres.
I'm here to also participate in community service, but as well do some extra credit activities for my professor in the university.
At the Gladys Porter Zoo, students cleaned the cages of gerbils, mice, and birds while others picked up trash from the grounds and cleared debris. Zoo officials were grateful for the assistance.
The zoo, like most nonprofits, is always in need of the donations, contributions from the community, and that is not just monetary help, but as well as the time that folks have to contribute. And you know, it may be an hour or two, a week or a month, but any of that help and contribution of time is very useful.
At Lincoln Park, volunteers were fast at work on the community garden. Freshman Amelie Garcia was among a group of about 20 people at Lincoln Park who weeded a community garden, planted basil, and cleared nature trails.
I came last year and I thought it was a really good idea for volunteering and community service, so I came again, but this time on my own instead of a club.
The volunteers' work brought to mind King's message: all labor that uplifts humanity has dignity and importance and should be undertaken with painstaking excellence. For the Collegian News, my name is Anthony Cano.
Here is reporter Anthony Cano with the I Think question of the week.
For this week's segment of I Think, we went around asking students what their dreams, hopes, and expectations are for the new university, UTRGV. This is what they had to say.
I'm hoping that standards will be set higher for students, so they have to work harder and actually acquire the skills that they'll need in order to succeed in the real world. I feel like before it was too lenient and anybody could get a degree, and I'm hoping the standards will be set higher so the rest of us that get a degree are able to get some validation for it, that we worked for it.
I hope it'll be a more diverse kind of college, and hopefully they offer more majors and, you know, maybe better career pathways for new students that are coming in.
How do you feel the system works currently?
It's good for the most part, but we're very limited in degree plans and like career pathways, so I think the new university will bring more to the table.
Well, I think it's gonna be good that they separate them from TSE, because they're gonna be having better programs over there, and it's gonna be like more valid. I don't know, like, yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
Más alumnos en la universidad, muchas más clases y un mejor servicio en las oficinas para que estemos a gusto.
For the Collegian News, my name is Anthony Cano.
Hundreds of people sampled local cuisine at Taste of La Frontera on January 20th. Magali Rosales fills us in.
Taste of La Frontera is one of our biggest fundraisers for the Mr. Amigo Association, and basically what we do is we're fundraising to cover the expenses of bringing the celebrity and having the celebration of the fiestas del Charro, which is Charro Day.
The event featured 23 restaurants, including Vigo's Bar and Grill, Chick-fil-A, the Vermilion Restaurant, Mi Pueblito Bar and Grill, and Taqueria Último Taco. Serve everything from ceviche to tacos to pasta during the January 20 fundraiser.
Have you guys tried any food from the restaurants?
Yes, Vigo's Ultimo Taco, which I told her was the best one voted for 2 years in a row, and the Vermilion Ceviche, which is probably the best in town, and quite a few others.
Entertainment included performances by Mariachi El Mundial, UTV's Grupo Folclórico Tizatlán, and senior communication major and Collegian editor Clary Quesada, who sang La Charreada and Aires del Mayab. Proceeds from the annual fundraiser will be used to fund the Mr. Amigo President's Ball and Award Ceremony Gala, both of which will take place in February at the Event Center, and will feature Mr. Amigo 2013 Mariana Sewane.
For the Collegian News, I'm Magali Rosales.
Thank you for joining us this week. I'm Jonathan Baldwin.
And I'm Victoria Brito. Have a great week.